Quick reminder, you can grab the premium version of this course, which includes the 68-page ebook, over 2 hours of narrated audio files, answers to 20 common relationship scenarios, and premium customers can submit up to 5 questions and get a personalized response. Head to freemarriagecourse.com. That's freemarriagecourse.com. One more time, freemarriagecourse.com. Now, back to the course. Chapter 2, The 5 Stages of Marital Satisfaction. Lesson 2.1, Understanding the 5 Stages of Marriage. Introduction to the 5 stages. Marriage, much like a long road trip, isn't static. You don't just set the GPS and cruise forever without hitting some bumps or needing a rest stop. It evolves, and so do we. Many couples experience different emotional stages along the way, and that's totally normal, despite what social media might have you believe. In this lesson, we'll dive into the 5 stages of marriage: enchantment, disillusionment, obligation, friendship, and mature love. Knowing which stage you're in and how to keep things moving in the right direction can help you build a stronger, happier relationship. Think of it like getting a relationship map, minus the constant recalculating. Stage 1, enchantment. The honeymoon phase. This is when everything's shiny and perfect, and you're convinced you've found your soulmate, the one who leaves the toothpaste cap. Emotions. You're feeling all the warm fuzzies, deep affection, joy, excitement. You might think, this is it, my perfect partner. Spoiler, no one's perfect. Behavior. You're both putting your best foot forward, possibly pretending those little annoying habits don't even exist. It's emotional highs, bliss, and all the butterflies. While this stage is great for bonding, it's temporary. As the spark dims, you'll start seeing each other more realistically and less like the lead characters in a rom-com. Stage 2, disillusionment. And here's where reality checks in. The honeymoon glow fades, and now you're noticing the socks on the floor and the fact that your partner doesn't actually know how to load the dishwasher. Emotions, frustration, disappointment, and maybe a touch of resentment as you realize your partner is, in fact, not flawless. Who knew? Behavior. This is where power struggles can begin. Suddenly, that person you adored is now responsible for all the relationship's problems. Totally fair, right? Disillusionment is tough, but it's natural. It doesn't mean your marriage is in trouble. It just means you're waking up from the honeymoon haze. Stage 3, obligation. Welcome to the stage where life's routine sets in. The excitement has cooled, and you might find yourself sticking together more out of habit than passion. Emotions. Meh. You might feel bored, complacent, or just okay with the status quo. Behavior. To avoid rocking the boat, you may dodge conflict, which sounds peaceful, but can leave unresolved issues simmering beneath the surface. Obligation can provide stability, but it's a slippery slope to dissatisfaction if you're not actively working to keep things emotionally and physically connected. Stage 4, friendship. Congratulations! If you've pushed through disillusionment and obligation, you're rediscovering that your partner is actually pretty great. This is where you rebuild that solid foundation of friendship and mutual respect. Emotions. The power struggles are replaced with empathy, affection, and a whole lot of mutual respect. Behavior. You're communicating better, spending time together, and supporting each other's growth. Maybe you're even laughing together like you used to. Friendship is essential for long-term happiness in marriage. This stage brings you closer together, more unified, and able to appreciate each other again without the rose-colored glasses. Stage 5, mature love. This is the final stage, and it's the good stuff, where you truly get each other. Mature love isn't about wild passion or grand gestures. It's about steady, dependable, deep connection. Emotions, compassion, acceptance, and unconditional love. You've embraced each other's quirks and imperfections and decided to love each other anyway. Behavior, you focus more on giving than receiving and are totally committed to each other's well-being. There's a deep sense of security, knowing you're both in it for the long haul. Mature love isn't about perfection, it's about loving the imperfections. You're not expecting everything to be perfect. Instead, you cherish what you've built together. How to identify your stage. Every couple is different, and not every relationship will move through these stages in the same order, or even at the same pace. Some couples might skip stages, others may revisit some stages again. Yes, disillusionment likes to make surprise visits. Take a moment to reflect on your relationship. What stage do you think you're in right now? Where do you want to go next? What's the biggest challenge you're facing in your current stage? Identifying your stage is step one in building a more resilient, stronger relationship. Moving forward, getting through these stages takes effort and intention from both sides. It's normal to feel stuck in one stage for a while, but with the right tools, you can keep moving forward together. In the rest of this course, you'll learn strategies to tackle each stage's challenges and build a deeper connection. Once you figure out where you are and where you want to go, you'll have everything you need to create a long-lasting, fulfilling relationship. Lesson 2.2, Stage 1, Enchantment and Early Excitement. What is the enchantment stage? Welcome to the honeymoon phase, where everything feels like a rom-com montage. The enchantment stage is the beginning of a relationship, when everything is new, exciting, and, let's be honest, a little too perfect. You're in deep, head over heels in love, constantly smiling and dreaming of the future with stars in your eyes. During this time, both of you are focused on each other's best traits, and maybe ignoring a few quirks along the way. It's all about idealization. Your partner can do no wrong. This stage helps you bond, but fair warning, it doesn't last forever. Sorry. Key characteristics of the enchantment stage. Emotional high. Think euphoria and joy on repeat. You're so excited to be with your partner, and there's usually a strong emotional and physical connection. Idealization. You're seeing your partner through rose-colored glasses, focusing on their amazing qualities while maybe sweeping those little annoyances under the rug. Closeness and intimacy. You want to be together all the time, and there's a strong sense of connection. Spending time together feels like the most important thing in the world. Effortlessness. Everything just flows. Conflicts? What conflicts? And if they pop up, they're resolved in record time because neither of you want to rock the boat. Physical attraction. There's plenty of affection and intimacy. It's part of what fuels the connection during this stage. The benefits of the enchantment stage. The enchantment stage is like the glue that initially bonds you together. It's where you build emotional attachment and trust, which sets the stage for the long haul. Plus, all those shared memories and cute traditions, those will stick with you even when the honeymoon phase fades. Challenges of the enchantment stage. As much fun as the enchantment stage is, it's not forever. Cue sad violin music. Couples sometimes believe the euphoria and perfection will last indefinitely, but eventually reality comes knocking. No one's perfect, and you'll start noticing those quirks you once overlooked. Here are some common challenges. Unrealistic expectations. The whole idealization thing can lead to pretty high expectations. When things don't go exactly as planned, disappointment and frustration can set in. Ignoring red flags. While focusing on all the good stuff, you might miss some red flags that could cause problems down the road. Relying on infatuation. Attraction is a great starting point, but if that's the only thing keeping you together, you'll need to build up some deeper emotional connections for the long term. How to transition from enchantment to a deeper connection. When the magic of the enchantment stage starts to wear off, don't panic. It's normal. Instead of worrying about the spark fading, see it as an opportunity to build a more meaningful, lasting relationship. Here's how. 1. Manage expectations. Understand that nobody's perfect, and that's okay. Those little quirks are part of what makes your partner unique, even if they still don't load the dishwasher right. 2. Develop emotional intimacy. Start focusing on more than just butterflies. Have deeper conversations, share your hopes, dreams, and fears, and support each other on a deeper level. 3. Create shared goals. Talk about the future. What do you both want from the relationship? Having a shared vision helps strengthen your bond. 4. Balance independence and togetherness. Sure, you love spending time together, but don't lose yourself in the relationship. A healthy balance between togetherness and personal space is key. 5. Prepare for the next stage. As the reality of your relationship settles in, don't be scared. The enchantment stage fading doesn't mean the relationship is less fulfilling. It's just evolving into something deeper. Reflection exercise. Take a moment to reflect on your own relationship. If you're in the enchantment stage, ask yourself, what do you love most about your partner right now? Are there any challenges or differences you've noticed that you haven't brought up yet? How can you keep the excitement alive while also preparing for the realities that lie ahead? If you've moved past the enchantment stage, take a look back. What memories or experiences from those early days still bring you joy? How has your relationship deepened since then? Reflecting on these questions can help you understand where your relationship is now and how to keep nurturing it as you move forward. Lesson 2.3, Stage 2, Disillusionment and Facing Realities. What is the disillusionment stage? Welcome to the disillusionment stage, where the honeymoon phase fades and reality starts to set in. It's the point where couples begin to shift from the everything is perfect mindset to a more realistic view of each other and the relationship. Gone are the days of idealizing your partner. They've got flaws, quirks, and maybe a few habits that are starting to drive you a little nuts. But hey, don't freak out. This stage is totally normal, and even though it might feel disappointing, it's an important part of building something deeper and more genuine. You're no longer living in the fantasy land of perfection. You're seeing the real deal now. Key characteristics of the disillusionment stage. Increased conflict. The small stuff you ignored before? Yeah, now it's starting to bother you. You might find yourselves disagreeing more often or getting frustrated over little things. Recognizing flaws. The rose-colored glasses come off and you start seeing your partner's imperfections. What was once adorable might now feel a bit irritating. Power struggles. There's a bit of a tug of war going on as each of you asserts your independence. This can lead to some tension as you try to figure out how to balance your individuality with your relationship. Disappointment. You might feel a little let down that the relationship isn't matching up with the fairy tale version you had in your head. Cue the questioning, is this really going to last? The purpose of disillusionment. As uncomfortable as it might feel, disillusionment is actually doing you a favor. It's the stage where you move past the butterflies and get into the real stuff, building a relationship based on reality, not fantasy. It forces you to drop those sky-high expectations and start accepting each other, flaws and all. Think of it as the shift from infatuation to a more meaningful connection. Rather than seeing disillusionment as a sign of trouble, look at it as an opportunity to strengthen your relationship in a way that's grounded and lasting. Challenges of the disillusionment stage. This phase can be a bit rough, no doubt about it. Issues that were once hidden are suddenly front and center. Here are some common challenges. Increased criticism. Now that you're seeing your partner's flaws, it's easy to get a little nitpicky. That quirky habit you used to laugh off? Not so funny anymore. Questioning the relationship. You might start second-guessing whether this relationship is the one, especially if the transition from enchantment to disillusionment feels like a sudden crash. Defensiveness. When things get tense, it's easy to get defensive, which only makes things worse. Cue the escalation of arguments. Emotional withdrawal. When frustration builds up, it can feel tempting to emotionally check out instead of dealing with the issues head-on. How to navigate the disillusionment stage. So, how do you make it through this stage without losing your mind or your relationship? Here are some tips. 1. Shift expectations. Nobody's perfect, and that's okay. Let go of the fantasy that your partner needs to meet every expectation and embrace who they truly are. 2. Communicate openly. Be honest with your partner about how you're feeling, but avoid finger pointing. Instead of focusing on what's wrong, share your concerns constructively. 3. Practice acceptance. Accept your partner's flaws. You've got them too. And understand that differences don't have to be deal breakers. 4. Resolve conflicts constructively. When arguments come up, focus on listening and finding common ground instead of trying to win. Healthy conflict resolution is key. 5. Reframe your mindset. Instead of seeing disillusionment as a bad thing, view it as a chance to grow together. This is your opportunity to build a relationship based on reality, not perfection. 6. Seek support if needed. If you're really struggling, don't hesitate to get help, whether it's through counseling, therapy, or even reading relationship books. Sometimes an outside perspective can make a world of difference. Reflection exercise. If you're currently in the disillusionment stage or have been through it before, take a moment to reflect on these questions. What are some differences or challenges you've noticed between you and your partner? How do you usually respond when conflict or criticism comes up in your relationship? Are there areas where you might be holding on to unrealistic expectations? How can you practice more acceptance of your partner's flaws and quirks? Thinking through these questions can help you approach this stage with a healthier, more constructive mindset. Moving forward, disillusionment isn't the end of love. It's the beginning of something deeper. As you move through this stage, you have the chance to build a more authentic, meaningful connection with your partner. It's in facing these realities that you can create a foundation of partnership, respect, and understanding. With the tools you're learning in this course, you'll be better prepared to handle the challenges of disillusionment and come out the other side with a stronger, more fulfilling relationship. Lesson 2.4, Stage 3, Obligation and Routine. What is the obligation stage? Welcome to the obligation stage, where love goes from fiery romance to, well, daily chores and who's cooking dinner tonight. In this phase, couples often shift from the emotional highs of earlier stages to the routines and responsibilities of daily life. It can feel like the relationship is being held together by duty more than passion. While it might sound a little dull, this stage is a great opportunity for couples to reaffirm their commitment and find new ways to reconnect emotionally and physically. So yes, you're busy juggling life, but it doesn't have to feel like a never-ending to-do list. Key characteristics of the obligation stage. Routine and stability. Your life starts revolving around work, household tasks, and family commitments. Stability is good, but too much can make you feel like you're just going through the motions. Lack of passion. Remember those sparks? They may feel like they're flickering out. You're probably focusing more on paying bills and less on wooing each other. Reduced emotional intimacy. With all the adulting going on, emotional closeness can take a back seat. You're still functioning as a couple, but the deep connection might feel like it's slipping away. Conflict avoidance. Nobody wants to rock the boat, so you avoid conflict. But be warned, sweeping issues under the rug just makes for a bigger mess later on. Challenges of the obligation stage. This stage can be tricky because it's easy to feel like you're stuck on autopilot. Here are some common hurdles. Complacency. You might start assuming that the relationship will just coast along without much effort. Spoiler alert, it won't. Resentment. If one partner feels like they're doing more than their fair share, whether that's financially, emotionally, or around the house, resentment can start bubbling up. Boredom. Let's face it, when the spark fades and life becomes routine, it's easy to feel bored with the relationship, and maybe life in general. How to navigate the obligation stage. Breaking out of the obligation stage takes some effort, but it's totally doable. Here are some tips to help you reignite the connection. 1. Reestablish priorities. Yes, life is busy, but your relationship should still be a priority. Plan regular date nights or activities that help you reconnect, even if it's just binge watching a new series together. 2. Open up emotionally. Been avoiding those tough conversations? Now's the time to face them head on. Honest communication is crucial for getting back on track. 3. Inject fun and novelty. Shake things up. Try something new together, whether it's a hobby, a weekend getaway, or even just mixing up your daily routine. A little fun can go a long way. 4. Show appreciation. Don't let the little things go unnoticed. Showing gratitude for the small ways your partner supports you can help rebuild emotional intimacy. 5. Focus on the big picture. Remember why you're together and what you love about your relationship. Keeping the bigger picture in mind helps you push through the mundane parts of daily life. Reflection exercise. Take a moment to think about your relationship if you're in the obligation stage. Ask yourself, what parts of your routine are helpful for your relationship, and which ones might be creating distance? How can you reintroduce fun and spontaneity into your relationship? Are there any unresolved issues or resentments that need to be addressed? By reflecting on these questions, you can figure out how to move through this stage and re-engage with your partner emotionally and physically. Lesson 2.5, Stage 4, Friendship and Rekindling. What is the friendship stage? Congratulations, you've made it through the obligation stage and landed in the friendship stage, where things start to feel pretty great again. This stage is all about rediscovering your connection and building a deeper sense of companionship. You've weathered the storms, and now you're enjoying a renewed sense of closeness, trust, and mutual respect. During this time, you start to truly appreciate each other for who you are. Your relationship is now grounded in shared experiences, values, and goals. The friendship stage often brings back the joy and satisfaction that might have felt a little out of reach in earlier stages. Key characteristics of the friendship stage. Companionship. You genuinely enjoy each other's company. It's like hanging out with your best friend who just so happens to also be your partner. There's a sense of partnership and mutual respect. Emotional support. You're each other's biggest cheerleaders, offering emotional support during both the highs and the lows. You've mastered the art of encouragement and empathy. Shared goals. Whether it's raising a family, building a home, or pursuing shared hobbies, you're now aligning your future goals and values. You're in this together. Less conflict. Sure, you'll still have disagreements, you're human, but now you're much better at handling them in a constructive way. Challenges of the friendship stage. This stage is generally pretty smooth sailing, but don't get too comfy. There are still a few things to watch out for. Complacency. It's easy to get too comfortable in the friendship vibe, and that might mean letting the romance and passion slip a little. External stress. Even though the relationship is solid, outside stress, work, family, finances can creep in and put pressure on you both. Neglecting physical intimacy. Emotional intimacy is awesome, but don't let it completely overshadow the physical side of your relationship. You need both. How to nurture the friendship stage. Keeping your friendship strong in marriage requires a little effort, but it's totally worth it. Here's how to keep things thriving. 1. Continue to grow together. Keep working toward those shared dreams and goals. Whether it's something big or small, staying aligned will help you build a stronger future together. 2. Celebrate small wins. Don't wait for the huge milestones. Celebrate the little victories. Whether it's getting through a tough week or just having a great date night, those moments matter. 3. Balance friendship and romance. Yes, your emotional connection is important, but don't forget the romance. Make time for intimacy, flirt with each other, and surprise one another to keep that spark alive. 4. Support each other's individual growth. As you grow together, don't forget to support each other's personal goals and passions. Encouraging your partner to pursue what they love will only strengthen your bond. Reflection exercise. Take a moment to think about the friendship aspect of your relationship. Ask yourself, what do you enjoy most about spending time with your partner? Are there ways to deepen your emotional connection? How can you strike a balance between friendship and romance in your relationship? Reflecting on these questions will help you better understand the friendship stage and keep your bond strong as you continue to grow together. Lesson 2.6, Stage 5, Mature Love and Lifelong Commitment. What is the mature love stage? Welcome to the mature love stage, the grand finale of your relationship journey. This is where you and your partner have been through it all. The highs, the lows, the arguments over who left the lights on, and come out stronger on the other side. Mature love is all about a deep, enduring connection that transcends the earlier phases of excitement and challenge. Your partners in every sense of the word, navigating life with trust, respect, and a shared sense of purpose. Mature love isn't about being perfect. It's about embracing each other's imperfections and offering unconditional support. By this stage, you feel secure in your relationship and focus on what really matters, growing together and keeping each other happy. Key characteristics of the mature love stage. Unconditional love. You've moved past the need for perfection. You love each other for who you are, flaws and all, without trying to change one another. Emotional security. There's no second guessing here. You both feel safe, supported, and confident in your bond. No drama, just stability. Commitment to growth. Even though you've been together for a long time, the growth hasn't stopped. You continue to support each other's personal development and nurture your relationship. Partnership and teamwork. You're a true team, working together through everything life throws at you, whether it's raising a family, navigating careers, or handling everyday challenges. Challenges of the mature love stage. Even in this stage of blissful commitment, life can still throw some curveballs. External stressors. Things like health issues, financial challenges, or family dynamics can still create pressure on the relationship. Maintaining intimacy. As time passes, it can be harder to keep the physical and emotional sparks alive. It takes effort, but it's worth it to maintain that connection. Complacency. When everything feels stable and secure, it's easy to get a little too comfortable, but you still need to actively nurture the relationship to keep it strong. How to maintain a healthy relationship in the mature love stage. Even though you've made it to the mature love stage, there's always room for growth and connection. Here are some ways to keep your relationship strong. 1. Keep the lines of communication open. Just because you've been together forever doesn't mean you should stop talking. Continue having open, honest conversations about your needs, feelings, and desires to ensure you're both on the same page. 2. Prioritize intimacy. Sure, intimacy may look different now, but that doesn't mean it's any less important. Find new ways to stay close, whether through affection, shared experiences, or just spending quality time together. 3. Continue to set goals. Even in the later stages of life, having shared goals keeps you aligned. Whether it's travel, retirement plans, or learning new hobbies, working towards something together keeps your partnership strong. 4. Celebrate milestones. Reflect on the journey you've been on and celebrate your wins, big or small. Acknowledging anniversaries, accomplishments, or even the hard stuff you've overcome will reinforce your bond. 5. Support each other through life's changes. Life is always changing, and that means you'll both change too. Whether it's retirement, health issues, or family transitions, supporting each other through these shifts is key to a lasting relationship. Reflection exercise. If you believe you've reached the mature love stage, take some time to reflect on these questions. What do you value most about your relationship at this stage? How do you and your partner continue to support each other's personal growth? What are some new ways you can nurture your emotional and physical connection as you grow older together? Reflecting on these questions can help you deepen your understanding of mature love and find fresh ways to keep your relationship thriving. So that's it for Chapter 2. Just to recap, we covered the 5 stages of a relationship, how to tell which stage you're in, and what you can do while you're there. In the next chapter, we're going to dive into some common relationship challenges and strategies to avoid them. We'll see you on the other side. And before you go, don't forget, our premium course not only adds even more value with extra resources like the ebook and personalized answers to your questions, but it also helps us continue to put out great content for couples like you. So if you're enjoying this course, please consider making a purchase. It's a win-win. You can purchase the premium course at freemarriagecourse.com. One more time, that's freemarriagecourse.com.